So last time I talked to Jared Truby, I don't know if you know who that is, but he's Cat and Cloud Coffee out in Santa Cruz.
Cool.
And we talked about they've got a co-ferment. So I got to ask two coffee related questions. One, have you tried any of those the weird coffees like the co-ferments? And two, how does your coffee routine change when you're off the road? Because when you're on the road, I'm sure it's a lot different.
Well, to answer the first question, I don't know what that is, but I want to try it.
I didn't either. Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
Um,
He was
Sounds
explaining it to me.
fancy, and I'd probably like it.
Yeah.
So you have to connect me with Jared, and he can tell me what that is, and maybe.
Yeah, well, they throw it in like different things. So they like put in like strawberries with the coffee while it's fermenting, and just like bring out more, flavors, I guess. Kind of, I don't know what.
I mean, that definitely sounds like something I would not like.
Yeah,
but
it makes it.
I'm willing to try it.
Yeah, it makes it funkier, is the way he said it. His was like pink champagne, is what they.
Well, I wonder is it like really forward, or is it sort of subtle?
No, it's like forward. The one I've had one, and it is like it's like I would describe it as funkier. So if like natural on steroids, maybe.
Okay. Well, I would gonna go ahead and say I'm skeptical, but I'm willing to try.
Yeah, it's a new thing
for sure. I mean, yeah, as far as coffee road versus home, it's actually a little bit the same, and that's kind of the whole reason I think musicians get so obsessed with coffee. I think because you're in this sort of ever-changing environment, and it's kind of one thing you can count on being the same. You can really control it. It's like you wake up in Milwaukee or the Czech Republic or something, or Oslo, and you're like, I want my coffee this way, then you make it
like an anchor.
Yeah, for sure. So we usually have it's usually a pour over, which is what I do every morning. Pour over. My dad recently was visiting, and he was like, wow, I think I converted him to the pour over.
Nice.
Like, this is amazing. I'm like, yeah. People think fancy or elevated coffee is really complicated. It's like, actually, it's just hot water, and you grind a good bean.
Same. Everybody tries to tell me that I'm a nerd. I'm like, honestly, I just feel like it's one of the most accessible things that you can get. That's also the best still. Like, you can have the best and not have to pay. It's expensive, but in relative terms. And I love the ritual of it too, and the routine. Yep. And like I said, it's almost like a meditation making it for myself.
Yeah. I mean, I did go through an espresso phase for the past year or so, which has been fun, but I think it's a little bit maybe like alcohol, where it's almost a different, and it's it's not just the caffeine amount. It's sort of like a different feeling.
The way it hits.
The way it hits is and I realized that espresso was kind of cracking me out a little bit, because I'd wake up and have a cortado or something first morning, and then I'd have another one, and I'd be grinding my teeth, what?
Just pacing the hallway.
Yeah, sweaty. So, but I still do. So I think I love a cortado, but it's more like a treat, once in a while. But
that's great.
The pour over every day.
That's awesome. All right, I want to talk to just a little before we get into basketball about upcoming Drugcember to remember. I, as a school principal, definitely appreciate what it means to, to support schools, especially public schools, and wanted to hear kind of what developed. You mentioned Johnny Brenda's and the painting behind you coming from that. So you obviously have a connection to the area, but why there? What's arts and music programs mean for kids? What's your connection to all that?
Well, I got two kids who are 4 and 7. And so I understand how important education and music and creativity is to them. I'm seeing it and living it every day. I think Drugcember is a way to sort of reaffirm and strengthen our connection to Philadelphia, especially as we have this sort of war on drugs diaspora. We're all over the country now. Yeah. And sometimes it feels like we have less of a connection because we're not living there. Well, there are some of us still live there, but a bunch of us don't. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of the way of being no, this is still home for us. And this is a cause that means a lot to us. It's sort of underappreciated. The schools are always suffering. It feels like they get kicked around. I have one of my best friends is this man named Severin Tucker, who works for the Philadelphia School Board, and he's my buddy for a long time, and he's like on the front lines of all of it. You
Yeah.
know, he's always commiserating with me about it, and he was one of the people who inspired us to do this. And yeah, we're really pumped for this year. We have some cool surprises.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm excited about it. We did try to get tickets. It was a tough. So if you need a principal to introduce you guys, I'm highly available.
All right,
But
noted.
no, yeah, I think it's just a neat thing. Again, like educators so often, especially public educators, there just feels like a lot coming at you. And it's just neat to have, a cool aspect because there is so many amazing things that you get out of being at school. And especially with the arts, like I just saw the Stranger Things out and they have their creative arts teacher in the show because she obviously meant something to them. So I just think there's lots of connections like that. And
I love
it's
that.
a really cool thing you guys are doing.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's gonna be. I wish I could like reveal some of the plans, but
No, leave the suspense. The suspense is better. There's plenty of stuff. Too many things get spoiled these days.
um, but yeah, it's so it just feels like home, even though it's not really home for me anymore.
Yeah.
And
It's a great connector.
it's a connector. And just to answer your other question, Johnny Brenda's is like, I don't know, like it was sort of the hub for us. It was the hub of the music scene. It was the hub of Fishtown, the neighborhood, which is, we were just talking about this painting, which represents Fishtown to me. We were the first band ever to play at we used to go hang out at Johnny Brenda's. It was a bar. It was the best bar. It was the only bar, and you would go, and it was the kind of place where, I don't know if you can relate to this, but you would go there not even knowing who would be there, but you just know that your friends would be there in
That's
capacity.
really cool.
Um,
That's a rare thing to have too.
it's a time and place. I remember, there's so many great musicians who would just be sitting at the bar.
Mm.
And then they opened the upstairs to be a venue, and they asked us to play along with some amazing other bands. We would just feel like this connection with it. And we certainly talked a lot about doing it at a bigger venue just so more people could come.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just Johnny Brenda's felt right. And I do feel like it's become, the scarcity of the ticket has kind of made it like
Yeah.
kind of something even greater and bigger than we intended, because I have people hitting me up constantly like, can
Not
we
bad.
any way to get into this thing? I'm
No,
like,
I'm sure.
it's not impossible.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so it's going to be sweet, and really looking forward to it.
That's cool. I got to ask about Nightlands too, because I know that I've seen some like teaser posts of War on Drugs in the studio and assume that you're involved in that obviously heavily. But I'm curious what the rhythm is for you managing side projects when you're off the road too. Like, how do you carve out time for that? Because I mean, I love your albums too, and so I think it's just an interesting balance that you have to play as an artist, like contributing to solo things and a band.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I have basically shelved Nightlands for the past few years because of the intensity of the War on Drugs touring schedule, and
You guys have been all over the world.
and raising two kids.
Yeah.
But certainly I have been feeling it bubble up a lot lately. I've done a few songs for like compilations and stuff. I just finished a Christmas song that's coming out on this compilation that I'm really pumped on. And I can feel like the sleeping demon start to stir. And
Good.
so, yeah, I'll start to work on some new music. And I mean, it's always worked well because the War on Drugs recording process has always been like kind of lengthy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like these epic multi-year recording.
Yeah, you guys have kind of documented them through some of your own podcasts. Just
Yeah, it's never
way
been,
it pieces together.
it's really crazy every time. It's always like a deep journey, like a journey to the center of the world, or the journey to the center of the heart. And what it always seems to, it creates space for me to do my own thing, I think, because I'm like, there are these times when we're just in the studio recording and you're in that sort of mode of creation. So yeah, that's a way of saying that. Yeah, I'm booting up right now.
That's good. That's good. That's awesome. I'll have to check out the Christmas one. Did you put that on your social media?
Not yet. I think it's
Okay.
coming out in like 8 days or so. Yeah,
Okay.
they'll be teasing it soon.
Keep an eye out for that. All right, let's get into the Sixer. So you've got the heavy slime shirt on. It's the story behind that was I had planned to reach out about this and talking about my whole idea was like Philly and Golden State are like I think two of the most interesting teams in the league this year because they have these like juxtapositions. So Philly has this like older guys that are kind of almost being supplanted by the young squad. And then Golden State's got the Steph Curry and the old heads that are still and Jimmy Butler kind of rising. And I'm listening to The Watch and with Chris Ryan and they name dropped the heavy slime guy. This guy's awesome. So
Oh, that's
I
so
just
good.
love like little connections like that. I always have fun finding little wormholes to drop down.
Um, First of all, I love the watch. Big fan. Big
Nice.
CR. Big CR head for sure. And yeah, the heavy slime, I gotta give major props because I feel like this is kind of Philly fandom.
I know, right? Could you do just a podcast on the shirt?
Yeah, good. It just really sums up the whole
Oh
experience.
my God. So many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are weird in Philly for sure. And the Sixers, they're good and bad.
What is the emotional truth of being a Philly fan right now? I think there's like the practicality of it, but how do you feel as a Philly fan? Because there's a lot going on.
Um, God, there's a lot of self-hatred. Um, there's a lot of um it's really complicated because it's sort of like I hate this team, but don't you dare say a bad thing about
Right.
it. Kind
Yeah.
of
Is this the
uh,
most Philly team ever?
so Philly, I think I have such a complicated relationship with Embiid. Um, because I think I really love him as a person,
Mhm.
or what I think, or who I don't know him,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, but like who
Yeah.
I believe him to be. I just really relate to like his humanism and his vulnerability and like his foibles and all of it. But as a player, it's like pretty maddening to the point where, he's a really frustrating player to root for, but he's also given me so much joy at the same time when
Yeah.
when he's been on. But yeah, we're in an interesting spot now with this sort of youth revolution. The three young guards who I think are all great. Um, Contrasted with Paul George and Embiid, who are just sort of like dead money, kind of.
Yeah. They are. And I think that's where they sit in the landscape. I really thought of them as one of the most interesting teams because they still have, if you can sync everything up, it seems like they still somehow could make a run. If you could just get them healthy at the right time for just I mean, it's only a few weeks. It seems like a long time given his health history. But, sometimes, he won an MVP, so it's obviously possible, maybe,
I mean,
so
less than 2 years ago, he was having arguably the greatest offensive season in NBA history.
yeah, exactly. They're saying it
Less
that
than
way is
2 years.
amazing.
Like people were like, "This is Wilt Chamberlain." He was averaging more than 1 point a minute.
Yeah, insane.
Totally insane. So it's not like we're talking about, recapturing glory years from 12 years ago. It was
Right.
pretty recent. So, I mean, will it happen? Probably not.
Yeah.
I do think the East is really wide open. I could
Mhm.
see that catching fire and maybe getting into the conference finals is possible.
Yeah. Are you
I
having
mean,
fun watching them? Because I feel like that is something that has returned. Like last year, watching Philly was rough.
we're really cool.
It was rough. But I do feel like they're, before McCain, I guess after McCain got hurt, I should say. I mean, when he started to come on, but this year with Edgecombe, like that guy is a blast to watch. Like you have to feel like you hit pay dirt with him.
Yeah, it's weird. That's the thing with Daryl Morey. Like, the Embiid and Paul George contracts are like pretty crippling, but all the other moves, he's so good, and he has this reputation of being like, obsessed with stars and trying to create these like, star fueled juggernauts. But his like moves around the edges are so good. Like he's such a good. He drafted Maxey, he drafted McCain, he drafted Edgecombe. He does like the Oubre signing was like so good.
Yeah.
Like nobody wanted Oubre, and he's
Off the garbage heap.
Yeah, off the garbage heap. There are games for sure when he's our best player. So I do love him if I'm able to turn my brain off, which is actually like, it's actually weird that I even care about the dead money. Like, who cares?
I know. I know. It always is weird when people say it. I'm like, wait, but why do I care? It
I
doesn't.
don't care. They're
Yeah.
having fun. We're like, yeah. So I shouldn't care. I still do sometimes. I
Yeah.
mean, I want Embiid to have generational wealth. Fine, good.
Yeah.
Make the
Sounds,
money.
sounds great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take Josh Harris's money and make it yours. I love
Exactly. Sounds great.
it. But
Back to the Philly schools.
yeah, exactly. That's right. So it's a nice wealth transfer. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, I love the guards. You know, whether I take them seriously as like a powerhouse, probably not. I mean, it all speaks to the like various what's the most enjoyable type of fandom. It's low expectations and having them exceed.
That,
Always
oh my
what's in.
gosh, for sure. That's all. It's always the most anxious when you are way up high and then feel like unless you're maybe Oklahoma City right now, because you got to be feeling pretty good if you're them, because
I can imagine what they're feeling.
it seems like they're completely unbeatable. They look like Golden State 2017 right now.
More so, I think, because they're they look like maybe the best team of all time.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to get a top 3 pick or a top 5
Oh,
pick.
yeah, if that happens.
And they haven't even really been fully held. I mean, they're going to break the league. I've been saying this for like 2 years.
Yeah, they might zoom out. I just heard, of course, speaking of the Eastern Conference, Giannis maybe wanting to be traded. If you're Oklahoma City, do you just go ahead and trade for Giannis? They've got the assets.
No, they don't. They don't touch anything. You're the best
Yeah.
team. You're talking about
Yeah.
maybe being the best team of all time,
Yeah.
or in that
You don't
conversation.
you don't get a little greedy,
No, you don't touch anything. You just keep smacking those assets. You keep
You don't want too many guitars, is what you're saying.
committing. Well, also like the way Presti builds things is he just drafts. He's like
Yeah.
He's like the best drafter.
Yeah,
So
if they can't, they got to step in and not get them a top draft pick.
it will, because it just feels like part of the Clippers curse, right?
I know.
Well,
Well,
they
they
have
got the Clippers pick this year, and they've still got it next year too somehow.
crazy.
Like, how is that possible?
I kind of love it because I don't know that I don't know anything about Steve Ballmer, but to me, he represents like
I know.
this insane, gross billionaire.
Well, the whole thing that Pablo Torre brought it kind of into the light is certainly an interesting situation, to say the least. We'll see how the NBA decides to resolve it. But you don't like people using their money for the competitive advantage. Like, the whole point of the league is to imagine that there's an ability to compete, and if you start doing stuff like that, it messes stuff up. So,
but it does feel like it would be, if we believe in a curse, it does feel like the Clippers pick is destined to go to OKC, who just won 70, who will have won like 70 something games and probably won another title. And then they get the number 1 pick. And
they gotta get some kind of camera on Steve Ballmer of that.
Yeah,
After.
Ballmer's head.
We got to see, because he does give some classic reactions to things.
So yeah. Anyway.
All right, well, zoom out on the Eastern Conference then more broadly. You mentioned maybe a conference finals, but who do you think is real and who's just smoke? Because I've had a hard time. I kind of thought the Western Conference would be just this juggernaut top to bottom, but it kind of feels like that those top teams, or maybe even the top team, is way farther away from some of the teams in the West than in the East, where I honestly don't even know who's up there. Like, who do you think has a shot?
Yeah, I mean, that's the only reason I think the Sixers could make any kind of conceivable run, is not because I think they're good. It's just because the East just feels like a total shit show. I actually don't really like any East team very much, because I really think Cleveland is like weak. I don't believe in them at all.
Donovan Mitchell looks amazing.
Yeah, he looks amazing. I love Donovan. I should say that I should clarify that I'm a Donovan Mitchell fan.
Yeah.
I just have a real bad taste from the playoffs last year, and I'm watching a little bit this year, and there's just something soft that I see. I like the Knicks. They're fun, but they're kind of scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They don't feel like intimidating. I don't know. Heat look kind of good.
That's where it gets too quick though, right? You start to think,
what are we talking about here?
should Tatum come back if he, is healthy and
Totally.
maybe Boston can actually make a run? I don't know.
Totally. Yeah, that's I think what we're dealing with is like the Boston void, right? Like if
Yeah,
Boston was full strength, it
they'd
would
still
be
be
like
up there.
fast forward to Boston, OKC. But yeah, the East is I like it. I mean, I think it's actually more fun when it's like this, and I can fantasize that my, you know,
I
the
know.
the menisci could make a conference finals run, whereas
I had hope for the Bulls even at the start of the season.
oh yeah,
I don't know I don't know what has happened. They've dissolved into a puddle now, like eight of 9.
but if you're
So
in the West, like, how do you even like build your team? Because you just got to be thinking that like you got to go through OKC for the next 3 to 5 years, and they look unbeatable. So
yeah, what do you do if you're Giannis? Do you even push for any teams out west, or you're just like keep me whatever you do, just trade me to a team in the East, or do you want? I know San Antonio's could probably get him too. I mean, that would be a cool team with Giannis and Wemby, but
yeah,
then you're in the
yeah,
West, and Wemby gets hurt all the time.
I want to see him go to the Lakers just because. I
Oh my God.
just because they could throw Austin
Hey,
Reeves there.
you're all over the conspiracy theories right now. If
But yeah,
Oklahoma City's getting the first pick and the Lakers get Luka Doncic and then
yeah.
Giannis in the next year.
Imagine they just trade everybody. LeBron, Austin Reeves.
Who are they trading for? Hang on, who are they giving up for? They gotta get they didn't
Yeah,
have to give up
Austin
Austin
Reeves
Reeves.
is a top 30 player for all I think now.
Dude.
Um, Probably Rui.
Yeah.
Um, that might get you there as far as the money.
Then picks maybe.
And then all the picks you possibly can. Probably 4 picks and 4 swaps. It's
Probably
probably
more that's probably more than they gave up for Doncic, so
more.
maybe they'll do it.
Yeah, way more. It's not really realistic, but I just think, I'm just,
If they can cut the Milwaukee owners in on some of the Middle East money that the
right.
Lakers got for
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
a side deal there. Oh shoot. Well, I want to get you out of here in around the 30-minute mark. So I had holiday close and gratitude. So I was curious if you had just a few quick hitters here. First one, any holiday traditions that you got or you're looking forward to?
Well, Drugcember is a big one, which,
Yeah. Are you gonna
like,
make that a year really tradition? I know you guys missed a couple of years there.
we miss years, but I will say we always consider it. We always hold the dates, and sometimes we can pull it off, and sometimes
Yeah. It's harder when everybody's spread out.
it's hard, and it's a lot. It's like you think about like what I don't know anybody who has like a mellow December. December's just crazy for every
Yeah,
human being.
seriously.
It's like you got to move heaven and earth to get everybody into this tiny little bar essentially and put on
Yeah.
like an arena sized rock show. So
Yeah, that's crazy.
oh, it's worth it. And yeah, so that, and then all the traditions with my kids.
Nice.
So we make it
Awesome.
really special.
What about things you're thankful for as the year winds down?
Thankful for my family, and for my band, who are like another family to me, for
That's
sure.
awesome.
As we go through, like we're at the stage now of our career where I've been in the band almost 20 years, and
Crazy, like
and
half your life,
people
right?
get sick and parents die and
Yeah,
big life changes happen,
gets real.
and and it's like those things pull you closer together, and
Yeah. I thought bands stay together. That's cool.
yeah. So I've been through a little bit, some big changes of my own this year, and my band has been like super supportive of me. So
That's super
definitely
awesome.
for
Glad to hear that.
best friends. It's such a privilege to make music with like best friends.
Yeah, it shows. It shows. I think maybe that's why the music's so good, right? Comes out that togetherness comes through.
Thank you.
Speaking of that, you mentioned the Beach Boys and being on the top of your Spotify list. What about other music books or coffee recommendations going into the winter? If you've got time off, what would you recommend people checking out?
I would say Beach Boys Christmas album for sure. That's like every year. That's the LP that just
Break it out.
lands on my turntable and doesn't leave,
Okay.
and I just sit there and flip it. I got to give a shout out to a record called Entrance Music by Steve Okonski, who is an Asheville friend who's a just a god level pianist,
Nice.
jazz pianist, and actually kind of has a Vince Guaraldi vibe to it. So I'd recommend everybody check that out. Books, my daughter is a big reader now, and instead of reading to her, she likes me to read with her. So I like to like sit next to me and we read together, which has been awesome for me, like
That's
reading.
super awesome.
And recently I grabbed Ender's Game off the shelf,
Okay.
which is like a, young adult classic. And I hadn't read it in years, and I grabbed it and like was up the whole night. Like, oh shit, this is the best book ever.
It's a great feeling.
Yeah. So if any, I mean, it's a big book. A lot of people have probably read it, but it's a great revisit.
Nice. Wow, that's great, man. Well, I so appreciate you coming on. And when Philly's in the Eastern Conference Finals, or they have their next meniscus tear, you got to come back on.
Yeah.
We'll decompress talking that.
Yeah.
I'll hit up Jared too about getting you some of the pink champagne. All right, man. Take care.
All right.
And holler if you're ready to talk anytime. I'll make some time.
Awesome. You got it, Aaron.